So I just had my first like clouds parting, smack you in the face, concrete, like absolute sign from the divine. And it happened when my husband and I were walking back, just a routine night, nothing out of the ordinary. We had parked our car in the garage. We were walking up the street, and it happened in a way that moved me so much. And they gave me such a confirmation that it was from the divine that it moved me to tears. And before I talk about what it is, I want to give the backstory on it. So I've been watching a lot of testimonials, just trying to kind of keep my energy up and just sort of keep with the flow of things. And I can't really afford to go to any conferences right now, so I feel like testimonials and then reading and keeping my energy up, meditating, of course, are the next best thing. So in several of the testimonials, ones that I really like, a lot of them are about healing, and that's cool, but I really like the ones that are about manifestations and mystic experiences. And some of the ones that I saw that were a few years back, because I used to kind of just watch the new ones, I'm watching all of them now. And the ones that are like a few years older, a lot of them feature manifestations from like a particular meditation that goes on in the advanced workshop where Dr. Joe will have you manifest something. So, and usually it's something kind of small, something very specific, something that just shows you that you are able to create in the quantum field, and the divine does have a two-way connection with you and does hear you. So there are people that have manifested like a red balloon. Someone manifested a magic wand with a little star on the tip, and she, brought it up on stage and showed the magic wand. Another person manifested a $2 bill. Somebody manifested a red ball. So the idea is it needs to be something that is like specific enough that it's unique and it means something to you. And you can have absolutely no doubt that it came from the divine because it's specific and unique enough, and it's, detailed as you see it in your mind's eye when you manifest it during the meditation. So I haven't actually done the manifestation meditation, but I was thinking about it. I think it was about 2 days ago. I was watching some of these and I saw another really cool manifestation where someone had manifested a blue butterfly with black and white spots. And she saw the butterfly, and then she looked on the ground. She saw a hairpin that was a blue butterfly with black and white spots. And I was like, man, that's so cool, because I love synchronicities. I love just things like that. It just fuels me. And I was thinking to myself, man, if I did go to a Dr. Joe conference and I did this meditation, like what would I manifest? And the thing that occurred to me, I was thinking of like objects, and the objects I thought of at first were kind of like a red hairpin, woohoo. Like they didn't really mean anything to me. And then I thought about it, and then it dawned on me what I would manifest. And it's a shiny pebble. The reason that's significant for me is because it actually comes from my mom. So she had a really hard decade where she went through a divorce after 29 years with my father. And then a couple years ago, 4 years ago, my brother was murdered on the street. He was 31. And yeah, that was hard for me, let alone, a parent. And it was really hard on my mom. And she demonstrated amazing faith and amazing, spirit and persistence and resilience in a time like that. But one of the things I remember she would do is I would talk and we'd call each other and just kind of see how we're doing, check in on each other. And she told me that she exhibited a specific practice that my grandfather used to do too. He was great at this, by finding the positive in a really negative situation. So when you're surrounded by just darkness and just, filth and mud, finding what she would call a shiny pebble. So she didn't really obviously mean like a literal shiny pebble. She meant like finding a silver lining, finding something nice in a situation where there's nothing but jagged rocks. And you look down and you see that shiny pebble, and it shows you that God, that the divine does love you and is there with you, and that you have a connection. And my mom's own like shiny pebble was one time when she was looking down in the ground. She was going through all this, and she said, God, please, just show me a sign. Show me a 4-leaf clover. And she looked down, and at her feet was a 4-leaf clover. So for me, I thought, well, what if I did a literal shiny pebble? And then I thought, well, you know, like little pebbles like on the street and stuff, asphalt and stuff like that, that's not really shiny. So I was like, what would be the next best thing that to me represented the shiny pebble? And I thought, oh, I would love to manifest a little stone, like about that big, like a gem almost, a gem, but translucent, like the kind you see in the craft store. So if you go to Michael's and there's like crafts you can glue on and stuff like that. And I wanted it to be green because green is my favorite color. And I wanted it to be shiny, of course, translucent green. So almost like a little green glass, little thing like that. That's what I wanted. And I thought, man, if I ever went to a conference and did that though, I was like, I don't know, that might not be so great because that's so specific. Like, where am I ever going to find that at like a hotel or a conference? Like, I just feel like I'm setting myself up to fail, you know? So I was like, maybe that's not a good one. Maybe I'd have to choose a different one if I ever actually go to do this meditation. And then I kind of dropped it. I was like, well, I'll stash that away for when I eventually go to a workshop, right? So my husband and I are just, you know, having a good evening. We're talking, we're just walking back. I mean, I wasn't doing a walking meditation. I wasn't in any kind of state, and I didn't even perform the manifestation meditation. Excuse me. I don't even know what it is. I haven't been to an advanced workshop. But we're walking along, and I look down, and this is kind of in a part of town. The sidewalk's not so nice. It's kind of cracked. There's a lot of it's just not a nice area. But I looked down on the sidewalk, and I was like, babe, stop. And he was like, what? He's looking down. I'm like, stop. Get a picture of that. And he's like, what is like that thing on the ground? I'm like, yes, get a picture of it. Because you guys, I kid you not, I looked down and smack dab in the middle of the sidewalk was a translucent green, yay size, shiny pebble, just like I envisioned it. And I started crying. And my husband, of course, I didn't tell him any of this. So he's like, why are you, like, all he knows is I'm looking down, I see this like random little shiny object. I'm like crying over it. Because to me, it just was like so unmistakably a sign from the divine, a message. And you know, a lot of Dr. Dispenza's meditations at the very end, you ask for a sign, like if you've connected or if you've made, you know, if you've emulated the divine, you ask for a sign to show that you're on the right path and that you've actually connected and that you have a two-way connection. And I haven't really, I've been meditating daily for over 5 months now, and I haven't really had anything that's like a smack dab, like boom, clouds parting sign. And that was it for me. That was it. So I don't know. It's a shiny pebble. Actually, here's a picture of it. So this is the one that we saw in the sidewalk. That's what my husband snapped on his camera, just in the middle of the sidewalk in a part of town where there aren't anything like that. There's no craft stores nearby. And it was actually glued to the sidewalk, so I couldn't like take it home with me. But yeah, that's what happened. It was just such, and like a lot of people when they manifest these things, it's not about the, you know, maybe a bow tie or a butterfly. It's not about the object. It's just when it happens, it's just so amazing. It feels just amazing. It feels funny, and you want to laugh and you want to dance. And my husband didn't quite get it, but he did appreciate after I told him sort of the manifestations, and that's what I thought of. He was able to appreciate the excitement. So anyways, guys, I don't know what else to say. I'm just super excited, and I really do appreciate you sharing in this journey with me. And yeah, if you guys have any similar experiences, like please like throw them in the comments. I love to talk about this kind of stuff. I live for it. So anyway, catch you later.